and it will be the first ferment. So I'm going to be making half a gallon, and it takes about 10 days for the first ferment to happen. And what kombucha is just fermented tea. And just like with apple cider vinegar, if you've ever seen it with the mother inside, or yogurt or something like that, kimchi, things of that nature, you need the bacteria to ferment what you're making. So for kombucha, you know what, let me wash my hands real quick, because I'm going to touch this thing to show you guys, and I want to make sure my hands are clean before I touch it. If you can even hear me, because it's some of you guys are gonna think this is gross, but it's called a SCOBY, which stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. I just gave one away to someone the other day so he can make his own. So this is the SCOBY. It usually doesn't start off this big. It probably will grow. They grow like a small layer at a time, and I've just had it so long it's grown this thick. So as it's fermenting, a new layer of SCOBY will form on the top, and then I can have more to share. So I'm actually going to, what do I do with my cup? I'm going to put this back in the bottle, but I'm going to take the leftover fermented tea, or they call it starter tea, and I'm going to put it in a cup for right now, because I'm going to need that to start my new fermentation. So y'all can't see, I just squished it back in the bottle. So it's in there, it's hanging out, and so that's the important thing that we're going to need to ferment the tea. The other thing that we're going to need is the tea. Now the SCOBY, it feeds off of sugar. So we're going to put sugar in the tea. So we're making sweet tea basically. Mostly, traditionally, this is made with black tea. I like to use green tea for half a gallon. I'll put the recipes in the description. For half a gallon, you just do 6 or 7 cups of water with 4 tea bags. I do 7 cups because, you know, when you're boiling water, some of it likes to boil off. So, I don't know, recycle your tea bags, put them on your eyes, whatever you want to do. I don't care. So you just take your tea, and it's still warm right now. I definitely will not add it to the SCOBY while it's warm, because I don't want to damage it. That is a living thing that's in there. So for half a gallon, you do half a cup of water. I mean, not water, sugar, and you just mix it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. I'm going to, I like using chopsticks. It's easy to mix stuff with. So I'm just going to mix it in and let that happen. I'm going to let this cool down to room temperature. It is not room temperature yet. And then I'll be back, and I'll simply be adding the last couple things and then getting it ready to sit for about 10 days. So that's it for this part. See you guys in a second. Hey y'all, I'm back. So time has gone on, everything's cooled down, and I'm just going to finish making the kombucha. It's been a while, and I'm tired of wearing these clothes. I'm ready to change. But for continuity, I left everything on. So the tea is cooled down, it's in here. And all I'm going to do is take my jar. I poured out my tea earlier, the fermented tea that was already in here. They call it starter tea. And I put it in here because I need 1 cup. So we have the half-gallon jar, takes 4 tea bags, 6 to 7 cups of water, half a cup of sugar, just regular white sugar, and then a cup of starter tea. I wanted to make sure I had enough starter tea. If you don't have enough, then it might not ferment properly, because you need some of all this stuff, you know, to mix together and have fun. But I have a little bit over a cup, so that's good. If I have more, I'm never really worried about that. So just pouring it into the jar here. And I'm not gonna move my camera because my tripod broke. But I'll have a new one tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. A new tripod. Oops. I'm getting close to the top here, so I want to make sure I have enough room for the starter tea. Ooh, I'm close. All right, I got a little bit of tea left over. Maybe I'll drink that. So it is filled to the brim. That stuff floating around is just from the SCOBY. Don't be afraid. And what I do is I take some, sorry, I've got tea and sticky stuff everywhere. I just take some good old coffee filters, and I just use that to cover the top, because you definitely want to cover it. You don't want dust or anything getting inside. It's not going in the fridge. It's not going anywhere. When you're fermenting anything, when you're making things like kimchi and stuff, it's just going to sit out room temperature. So I just took this. Now it has like a little hat on top, And I'm going to actually write the date on the side. I just take a Sharpie marker, I'll write today's date. It's going to take about 10 days, so I'll have a new video in about 10 days with the second part of the fermentation. So this is the first fermentation, the SCOBY with the tea and the sugar inside. It's going to ferment, it's going to grow a new SCOBY on top, and we'll move on to the second one, which does the carbonation. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, and all right, shout out shout out to a place. So this is a shirt from Wording is Hard. To Hear More's channel on YouTube has this show called Wording is Hard. He also has a lot of other content, Zooming with the Homies, a ton of content. I'm not even going to name it all. I'm just going to put the link in the description. Check it out. Lots of good stuff. Okay, bye guys.